Oh, these were the days that we're afraid of. Since coming back from the quarantine, we've had all this incredible action, but now it's starting to go away. The German league ran its course this weekend. The Spanish league ended. You still have Italy and England and Major League Soccer, but I like the fact that I had all these options. I've never been feeling so alive as a soccer fan. I watch everything. Mid-table teams, bottom of the table teams. It was good for me, for someone who watches so much or does this for a living, to see everybody, which I've had the chance to do. But yes, the end of the road in Spain, and Real Madrid champions. That's a big deal. Sergio Ramos ends up with 11 goals for Real. 6 of those were penalties, and he scored another one over the weekend over Leganés. They actually tied that game, which ended a long run of wins to start the restart. By the way, since the restart, the only unbeaten team, Bayern. Brentford in the championship were unbeaten. They lost. Real Madrid lost, and I'm forgetting one other team, but they lost 2. So Real Madrid, the champs. We got to talk about Barcelona as it wrapped up here at the end of the La Liga season. I know I talk a lot about it, but Lionel Messi, they lost to Osasuna. They finished the season with a victory over Alaves, which puts a little bit of lipstick on the season. Throughout the year, Messi called performances weak. He called them inconsistent. He was very vocal about the situation. They do have a spot against Napoli in the Champions League, which will come up in August, so they have a little break between then. They'll prepare for that. I think they'll get by Napoli. They have the second leg. The first leg ended 1-1. Second leg's at the new camp, if that means anything, with no fans. Doesn't really seem to have that much of an effect. And I think they'll get by Napoli, but they're not going to get much further. And we've talked about the time for Messi to leave. And I think that's it. This is it. I don't think he will, because I just don't think... I think he'll hear enough stuff from the club that'll make him stay, and that's fine. That's what he wants. But he may contradict himself a little bit. And let's talk about the Pichichi. The Pichichi, which they give to the top scorer in Spain. He won it for a 4th straight year. He's won it for a 7th time, which is a record. Not to be diminished. That's remarkable. And Lionel Messi, without a trophy otherwise, unless they win the Champions League, which isn't going to happen, that's what he's going to get. And he quoted afterwards saying, "I've always said the individual prizes are secondary." And that's what you're supposed to say, and that's what you're supposed to believe. But if that's the case, there's no reason you should be staying at Barcelona. Quique Setién, who has been criticized much like his predecessor, Ernesto Valverde, it looks like he's coming back. You know, there's this dream situation where they bring in Xavi, and we don't know if he's going to be great. Maybe he will. But there are so many sexy managers out there that have made a huge impact with their new clubs. Jurgen Klopp, Pep, wherever he goes, seems to do it. There are guys that you can go out higher. There's a guy I'm going to talk about in a moment that fits that bill as well. But if Setien comes back and he hears everything that he wants to hear about coming back, he's going to come back. I don't think Lionel Messi wants to leave Barcelona, and that's fine. But if you say what you said about the individual prizes, all you're going to get is individual prizes, likely from this day forward. Maybe you win a La Liga again. But Barcelona is in such a bad situation that it's getting further away. And I've said this for 3 years. It's getting further and further away. So Lionel Messi, the ball's in his court. He said he's upset, but all indicators to me say he's not going anywhere. He's a loyal guy, but I think he's also a little timid of going out to test himself in that situation. If he were to leave, there were some options. Manchester City is obviously, because of Pep Guardiola and that familiarity, is at the top of the list, the ideal choice. Maybe Man City doesn't want him, but I can't imagine they won't. I think they could really do some interesting things with him. And the other one that they've bandied about, but I don't think it's going to happen, is combining with Cristiano Ronaldo at Juventus. There are other options, but those seem like the ones with the best opportunity to win. But alas, I don't think it's going to happen. And I'm not going to waste too much more time talking about it. If last October, when the FA Cup was getting into the main rounds, you told the organizers, you're going to get an Arsenal-Chelsea final, they'd be thrilled. Well, that's what they got. And you could have had a Manchester derby, but I think Arsenal-Chelsea at Wembley, London, has a certain amount of appeal. By the way, the FA Cup, which I don't talk a lot about here, Wembley empty still has a lot of aura. I really enjoyed that, so I enjoyed watching that to see what was going on. And Arsenal have something good going, and you haven't been able to say that for a while. They're 10th in the standings, but they've been the informed team in England. Coming out of the restart, they lost to Manchester City and Brighton. Since then, they've had 1 loss in 8. They have won 6. The 1 loss was Tottenham Hotspur. We made such a big deal out of that. But that was a blip. 6 wins, 4 clean sheets. I think in the offseason they're going to get an upgrade in defenders, but the fact that guys that we make so much fun of, like David Luiz and Mustafi, are playing this well is a great sign of the manager. Mikel Arteta, Pep assistant, he clearly is getting it, and you have to be so encouraged about the future if you are an Arsenal player. Aubameyang, Lacazette, hitting goals in with some frequency, getting the help from the back. I love Martinez as a goalkeeper. I think they have some good pieces. They will be one of the teams to watch. Next season in the Premier League could be outstanding. Obviously, Liverpool, Manchester City. Manchester United's going to be there for the title chase. Arsenal's going to probably be there, and so's Chelsea. So it's really shaping up to be a remarkable campaign if we get there. Arsenal's doing everything in place. This is a great development for English football. Arteta saying we will not have to convince players to come to Arsenal. They shouldn't have to convince players because Arsenal is a sexy team. It was the sexiest team. I'm sorry I'm using that word so much, but it was. And this is a great sign. So looking forward to the FA Cup final. Speaking of sexy, Leeds United promoted to the English Premier League after a couple years of knocking on the door. Andrea Radrizzani, the owner, went out and got Marcelo Bielsa, to me, one of the 3 or 4 best managers in the game. He's the godfather of coaching in a tree that includes Pep and Pochettino. He has a methodology of hard pressing, high pressing, stretching the games out, creating space in the middle. So when teams defend, teams that want to attack the way they do, attractive football, they clog up the middle. So you want to stretch that out. And he does an amazing job. He has a 3-3-1-3 formation. And some players that really bought in, not superstars, a lot of guys that were, jettisoned by other clubs, misfit toys. They develop players, and it's incredible to see. They do have Calvin Phillips, who they're calling the Yorkshire Pirlo, which is very cool. But El Loco Marcelo Bielsa, this is even better news for the Premier League. You're getting a team promoted that plays this brand of football. It's very exciting. And to see what happened with Leeds, whether you're a fan or not, you have to be inspired. They were in the semifinals of the Champions League in 2001. They had all these great players, Mark Viduka, Harry Kewell, Alan Smith, and then they had all this money, and then it all went. In 2004, they were relegated. They went to the 3rd division in England, and now they've built it up. So this is a great story, and I'm happy. And Marcelo Bielsa, so happy to see he got the job done. Make sure you subscribe to the Soccer O.G. We're going to finish big here in the months of July and August, and then we're going to do it all again in September and October. All right.